Hello everybody and welcome to Marvel Avengers Alliance here on G4G. Today we are taking a level 15 and fully ISO'd up Elsa Bloodstone into PvP content. She has been dropped in directly in line where my ASG was, but I haven't fully built my team around her yet. So we are facing Invisible Woman and Red Hulk. This could be very, very interesting. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is drop a tea time on Red Hulk. And we will go ahead and put an exhaustion on the enemy agent. So Red Hulk throws his bomb and he's going to take a hit from it. The hammer pistol comes in and attempts to combo break, but does not because it's broken. So now at this point I do not fear the bomb obviously because my lantern is in effect, but the bomb could definitely be an issue later on when we have to deal with HAIF having no immunities. This is a very, very strange team up. I guess the idea is to try to keep Red Hulk alive as long as possible by preventing his debuff so that he could do his thing with the bomb and other items. But I've never seen a team like this before. Fortunately, Force Cage was baited out early on, and we have immunity to it. I'm going to... Okay, the enemy agent stood up and took that one. Let's see if there's a drain. The hammer pistol comes in. It still goes through, and there is a double drain. So, now, we know that he is stunned. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is drop this on the enemy agent, and then I will soulfire their team, which will also keep their buffs off. So, no more escutcheon stacks. We're going to continue to keep them exhausted. I think that's a cosmic ray bomb in his hand. That's really odd. So that force field will be a shield, but it will not actually be debuff prevention. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and manipulate Red Hulk to my side to try to make him hit his own team. He does, and he gets the bug of using force spears, which we've seen before. That is a really strong force volley, which occasionally does happen from Invisible Woman, but we've been reserving our 9-6 for just such an occasion. Which is going to suck if Red Hulk's bomb is up again, but we definitely needed the heal. Man, I swear. Combat has gotten so incredibly shitty now, thanks to HAIF, but I'm going to deal with that in another video. He is still exhausted. I'm going to go ahead and do this because I want to get Bane out on him. The soulfire will do more damage. Doesn't hearing this just bring back memories? Do you totally not remember getting into a boss fight the moment you heard this music? Drop another scroll. And I'm going to drop some magic on them this time. God, the Mother Brain fight. I remember this. Definitely a soundtrack that brings back memories, that is for sure. So we have no real debuffs to clear. I don't have to worry about the disoriented. So I'm just going to recharge for now and save that just in case. That's part of why I'm glad I saved it. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to AoE these guys down. Keep the soulfire on to make sure their buffs don't get going. That should be the end of Red Hulk. I could use my agent to clean. And I'm going to possess the enemy agent so that at the very least I knock him out of combat for a round. There's that bug again with the force spheres. Even though the hammer pistol may come into this, we know it will not effectively combo break us, so doing a little bit of offense isn't a bad thing. Unfortunately, the shields were too strong, but that happened. So there is Elsa in PvP combat. You can see what she brings to the table. The soulfire is a wonderful buff remover. Really helps for getting rid of those escutcheon stacks as they build up. So I'll show you how I have her ISO. She's got 3 stalwarts. She has 3 forcefuls. She has a steady and she has a reactive patient. Now, this is from the wiki. Likely from the PKB solver. I just actually grabbed it from somebody's comment. I have her kitted out very aggressively on her empowered ISO 8. I have her running hair trigger and I have her running Sandy. It is definitely possible to change things around by running a resonant ISO. She doesn't have a buff, so sympathetic isn't good. You could run distant, that's for sure. You could run explosive to make her single target splash. But honestly, she's got so much in her kit that only really applies to one move and then the Slayer. We will see the resonant ISO coming up fairly shortly here. There is blood magic. So if somebody were to make her bleed, she would do more damage. This reduces gun damage. We don't really need to worry about close. Dodgy could be a thing. Eye bite, not really a thing. Hair trigger, we're running. All of her attacks are magic anyway. She does already restore things on recovering, but you could slot that to make her restore more. You could make her unstunnable. This is a big one. A resident empowered ISO 8, where magic actions give a heal. Everything she does is magic, including her counters. So if you are having problems with your Elsa living, that is definitely something that you could do. Since recharging clears debuffs and everything, you could also run sheltered, which would give her a shield, aside from everything. Surprising for a stun is not bad either. Now, as aggressive as I went in her E-ISOs, I went defensive in her A-ISOs. Her double tap and blazing boomstick are stealthy. You could run catastrophic here, and for the double tap, there's a lot of things you can run in this kind of a slot, including thorns, which would make melee people bleed up against her. You can run aiming to apply locked on, which does increased damage for everything else that she does because she's all ranged. You can run bursting to get rid of shields. You can run any of the gun related ones. You can also run sharpshooter. Now, because she picks up anything in her counter from what is here, she would give herself perfect shot every time she counters. You could also guarantee her hit by doing sniping. But since I have to scroll a Rudimoroth, that's largely not that big of an issue there. And of course you have all these, you can also do the exploit webbing, and you can do the inability to have them blocked out. The other thing that you can run over here is that, believe it or not, there's also the pyrophoric. Equip gunner explosion applies pyrophoric. That would be pretty good with her soulfire. And also the hemorrhaging ISO, which is bugged, could be equipped over there. So if you ran her with thorns on something and you started people bleeding, you could make her single target shot cause people to hemorrhage, but that's until they fix it. So I really wouldn't focus on that one too much. Over here, you can run the debuffs don't get locked out. That's a good way to go, but it's an expensive ISO. So right now, in reference to her Gravedigger, I have it as an increased chance to crit. stealthy again, and I have increased chance to crit. You could also go stealthy here. You could apply any of the gun ones, any of the magic ones. You could apply lockdown with this so that the follow-up gets extra damage. Stealthy certainly may be the way to go here, but I'm thinking that this is around later and it's just going to take out somebody, even if it is a protector. So that is what I'm doing with Elsa currently. In order to beef her up even more, I may drop a lunacy in here, and that would be very tough to decide what to take out. I could take this out, since I have a little less single target than I did with ASG. With ASG, you didn't want her webbing your own team. So that's why I have the satellite support there. But now that she at least every other round has an AoE, you know, and having a very melee-oriented Iron Fist over here with the Elite ISO on the other side of the field, there's not a whole lot of offense he's going to do when he's not buffing and healing. So I think it's very possible to move the lunacy in. The problem is now I have tons of quick actions that would consume my time, so it might be very, very tough to work the lunacy into this rotation of quick action, then quick action, quick action, quick action. Could be really, really tough. I may want to run the techno-organic endoskeleton here so I don't have to worry about Emma. And of course I have the newest gun, which has come in very handy, the least of which is the screaming shot, which possesses people and then makes them get stunned the round after they are possessed. So that's how I'm running her now, and I would likely run her that way the whole time, because it's going to be tough to run the lunacy in there. So she's a direct replacement for ASG right now. So, coming up on the channel, we're going to do a video discussing HAIF and his nerfs and potential ways around that. And I think that is about it for the active Marvel Avengers Alliance content that I'm planning. I was maybe thinking about the Grit and Sandy ISOs, and I may still deal with a combo video that talks about both of those, but I wanted to get this Elsa video out now, as I'm sure a lot of people who are focusing on Elsa are getting her up to 15 and may want to start using her. She's pretty good. And if you don't really have a lot of buff blockers or buff removal on your team, her soulfire gets it done. Just do not use it against the Lantern or the Mystic, because it will not remove the Shroud. Nano Plague will remove the Shroud, but soulfire does not. So just be warned, if you are looking at her going early in a turn and you do see a Mystic on the other side, you could either pass your turn or just go for raw damage. But at least for now, know that her double tap will not get stopped by the hammer pistol, even though she might get popped by it. You may have to cross that bridge later on when they fix it, though. Another bug that we have to deal with right now on a related topic is, if you are running ASG on your offense and she uses her level 6, you will proc tacticians on the other side, because it is no longer subtle in a debuff, it's a stealthy ranged action. Stealthy still does cause tactical bonus. But get this. When Spider Tits is on the defense and she does it, she doesn't hit my agent, so my agent never actually gets the tactical bonus off of her level 6. But when I use it, the enemy agent, if a tactician, would. Little unfair, and I think I'm actually going to do a ticket on that, because Playdom deserves to be swarmed with tickets right now, especially what they have done to HAIF. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm doing with Elsa. And you could go full offense and run her with like the Blaster Splash. You could do her defense with the Resonant Healing and everything like that. So just thought you guys wanted to see this and see her in action. Take care, everybody.